Saturday Social is powered by FIFA 22 with PlayStation.
It is a huge North London derby. I'll get nervous just thinking about it, to be honest. Thursday night, live on Sky. And as we've got a Spurs guest and an Arsenal guest, we thought...
Perfect.
Well, it is perfect, isn't it? Why not get them to do a combined 11 from the Premier League? So there's a bit of criteria. Do you want to explain how this is going to work? Because I think this might get a little bit heated.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to keep it to Premier League era, first and foremost. Okay. So we're not including some of the former legends of Spurs and Arsenal. And we're also going to kind of define it as their career as a whole. So we're not just limiting it to their performances at Tottenham or just limiting it to their performances at Arsenal as well. OK, so there's a little bit of criteria. And I also think, as you're a Spurs fan, Smithy, if there's a disagreement, I'm the only neutral in the room today, so I'll make the call.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah? Happy with that?
Fair enough. First up, should we look at Flav's all-time Premier League Spurs 11? So we've asked Flav to pick his Spurs 11, Theo to pick his Arsenal 11.
Yeah.
So this is what Flav's gone with. Walker, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Rose, Lloris in goal. Dembele, Modric and Bale. Very attacking team this.
Bale
Klinsmann, Kane and Son. So a few notable absentees that haven't made it, Flav. Off the top of my head, the likes of Jermaine Defoe, Berbatov, Ginola, Eriksson, Robbie Keane, Van der Vaart. Ledley King, I thought, is a surprise. I know Ledley King.
No, don't get me wrong. I did think about Ledley King, and you know, by right should be in there. But I was just thinking about Vertonghen and Alderweireld. A certain season that I don't know. Spurs gets a lot of stick for mentioning the 2016, 2017. It was a good season. It was a bloody good season. So so I just Alderweireld and Vertonghen together in that back. As a together, that's how I remember us being the most solid we've ever been. I think we conceded very few guys. Hang on.
Danny Rose at left back.
Well, I haven't actually finished talking about Ledley King yet.
Sorry,
he hasn't finished talking.
Danny Rose.
Are we getting into this right now?
Danny Rose. Wait, is it because he scored that goal against Arsenal? I tell you what, worldy goal.
Yeah, well,
if Danny Rose is your all-time Spurs
let's save
left back.
So that's what you've gone with anyway.
Let's have a look at your Arsenal one. Before we get into the debate over players, let's have a look at your Arsenal one, Theo, because this one is pretty strong. I think it's fair to say it's pretty strong compared to the Tottenham one anyway. At the moment, we're just seeing a ball on a net, which is not ideal. But I can reveal the team now.
There it is.
We've got it eventually. David Seaman in goal, Laurent, Adams, Campbell, Cole, Ljungberg, Vieira, Fabregas, Pires, Henry and Bergkamp. I mean, some tough players being left out there as well, Theo. Like Lee Dixon, Kolo, Toure, Emmanuel Petit, Mark Overmars. I mean, that's some 11.
You've not even mentioned Ozil or Sanchez.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably, the bench for this team would be better than Spurs' all-time 11.
OK, I think we should get into it. Let's get into it.
100%. Let's not waste any more time. We've got to decide on a formation, though, for this combined 11, haven't we? Because we've got a 4-4-2 from Theo there. We've got a 4-3-3. Are we both happy with the 4-3-3 formation?
Yeah, we can mould it into a 4-3-3.
Yeah, I think we can do it. And bearing in mind, look, the players I chose were ones that I think could get into that team, right? So it's not necessarily the team that would win the league or at best in terms of how effective it is. It's just how many can I get into that Arsenal team or vice versa.
OK, right, let's start with the goalkeepers then. Let's start with the goalkeepers. So of the two goalkeepers, we've got the choice of your magnet in front of you, Hugo Lloris, your magnet in front of you, David Seaman. Who wants to go first to make their sort of pitch for the player?
I mean, Seaman's never won a World Cup.
Lloris has never won a Prem.
So the World Cup surely.
You have to look at their whole career. You have to look at their whole career.
Yeah.
David Seaman.
Most of it, some of it wasn't even in the Premier League. He's not clear. He's not clear.
You know he is.
Madness. You know. He's not clear.
I mean, I'm not being funny. You could put Jens Lehmann in over Hugo Lloris.
No, you can.
Has Lloris gone a Prem undefeated?
No. But
I like this already.
There you go. Look, don't get me wrong.
But you didn't put Jens Lehmann, you put David Seaman.
I still rate David Seaman as a whole career. What he did at that club was
what you also remember is he was incredible, but David Seaman benefited from a massively defensive coach in Graham beforehand, and then Wenger had what was some of the best defences in front of him. So he was a good goalkeeper. He was very, very sound. But
two keepers that have been number one for their country for huge periods of time. It's worth pointing out. David Seaman, England's number one for ages. Hugo Lloris, 137 caps for France. Thuram's got the record with 142. Hasn't won a trophy at Tottenham, but did win the World Cup, as Flav said. David Seaman, 3 titles, which were 2 Premier Leagues of First Division, 4 FA Cups and a League Cup.
The thing is, if this is about, it's not about. It can't be about titles, right? It cannot be about that.
It has to play a part.
So look, all right, can we just?
It's about their entire career.
Theo, I'll acknowledge right now that Arsenal have won more trophies during this period than Tottenham. And then I've acknowledged that, I've given you that, right? We'll accept that as truth.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about the quality of the player.
Okay.
Can we agree on that?
This is it. Let's decide on a keeper then.
As a club career, Hugo Lloris, was all right. Yes, he won a World Cup. He won a World Cup. But as
captain.
As a Spurs player, I don't think you can. You don't have a case for him.
I'm going in earlier because we've got some unbelievable players to talk about. I'm going David Seaman for this one. I'm sorry, I think Hugo Lloris, incredible career, but stick it up. We'll build this 11 out.
Top keeper David Seaman. I think he is. You were saying Seaman, Lehman. I think he is the standout Arsenal choice certainly for
right backs.
Safe hands. Right backs. Kyle Walker or Lauren. Flav, do you want to kick us off with this one?
He's unfortunately. I've got to talk about his time at Man City. But at Spurs, he was the best right back in the league. He was voted as in the team of the season while at Tottenham, and at Tottenham he became the incredible right back and wing back that he's been for Man City and England. And in terms of the quality of the player, there isn't a conversation that Lauren can get in above him.
I'm actually a very big fan of Kyle Walker. I think he's genuinely incredible. To go to Man City and do what he has done, I think he should get a lot more credit than he deserves.
You're going to concede this one?
But Laurent, I couldn't put Lee Dixon in, okay? But I was born in '96. I grew up watching Arsenal. Laurent was my right back. Invincible again. You just have to look at that defence. Like, as a right back, in the era he was playing, there weren't too many better at that time.
Yeah.
I don't think Kyle Walker gets into that invincible side.
99 of 100 people watching this are picking Kyle Walker.
I have to say, as the person making the decision, we've got to get some Spurs players in there somewhere. No. So I'm putting Kyle Walker in early doors.
That's not a charity case.
I agree it's not.
It is a little bit.
Who would you pick though?
No, I would pick Kyle Walker.
Okay.
I would pick Kyle. If I had to have a player in my team tomorrow to play, obviously Lauren's now long gone, but I would still take Walker, both of them in the prime. You didn't take Lee Dixon. So Kyle Walker is.
Let's put it.
See, I was going to say,
there we go.
You've got, I reckon, maximum 2 Spurs players in this.
Well, we'll see, won't we? Because we've got
let's do both centre-backs together then, in terms of who you've both picked.
Okay. We have 2 options here.
Well, mine are Alderweireld and Vertonghen. Yeah. And I already know Theo has picked, one of them I'm not even going to talk about. I can't talk about it.
Is he a Spurs legend? Some would say.
Do you know what? It's low from you to do this. It's low from you because this is a family show, right? It's on at 9 o'clock in the morning, and you're asking me to talk about that man.
Does that not show you the state of that club, though?
Does it not show you the integrity of the man?
No, he's an absolute hero. Sol Campbell's a legend.
I can't believe Arsenal fans accepted him with warm embrace.
Of course you would.
Why would you? That's disgraceful behaviour.
You've left the stinker of a club and come to one of the better clubs. Do you not remember his goal, the Champions League final? Oh, my word. We were 1-0 down, 0-0, red card, Sol Campbell, leaping header.
Yes, we went on to lose.
We did lose, yeah. But I'll never forget it, because that was the first game my mum let me stay up and watch.
Even as Spurs for the neutral, let's go with the first choice. Tony Adams surely has got to be there.
No chance, because, and I'll tell you why.
Tony Adams?
He's an old-fashioned...
One of the greatest centre-backs in Premier League history.
In the football of old. In the modern day...
And I'm a Spurs fan.
I'm going to disagree with you.
OK.
And in the modern game, he wouldn't have cut it. It would have been all over the place.
Tony Adams wouldn't have cut it.
He would have been essentially... It would have been hoof.
No, because you could say that about anyone.
Why wouldn't it be a cut? Just explain that.
It just comes from a different era, played in a different way, where putting your head on the ball was the be-all and end-all. Vertonghen played football. He was like a Rolls-Royce centre-back. Different breed, different game, if you could argue.
Do you reckon Bobby Charlton would cut it in 2022?
No.
But you still could... Yeah, but that's my point.
Yeah.
It's a different era. You can't relate that era to this era. You have to look at the current era.
That's what we've been asked to do when we brought you.
And the fact that you're even arguing... You put Alderweireld over Tony Adams.
Right, let's come to a decision then.
Tony Adams has got to be there, and I'm a Spurs fan.
I totally agree. Tony Adams has got to be there.
The next 3, I don't know how we're going to get... Flav's obviously... I don't know how...
Flav's refusing to name Theo's other centre-back.
I'm not discussing it, and I will not sign off any team.
But it simply has to be Sol Campbell.
Yeah.
It has to be. I love Vertonghen and I love Alderweireld, and they were a formidable partnership.
So we're going with Joe for this one?
Yeah, but I'm going Sol Campbell.
Also, we need to make this a little bit more
Yeah, you're going to have to help out.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
I don't know what formation this is.
Flav's refusing to touch the Arsenal
magnets. The magnets are really strong, so I can't get them off.
There we go.
Flav's just moving boards.
All right, we'll gradually move on then, because I think Flav doesn't want to talk about this position.
Left back is an easy choice, isn't it? We can decide on this one very quickly. Yeah. It's just gone up. Ashley Cole.
Yeah, but it's mad that he did more at Chelsea, and is a hero at Chelsea over Arsenal. He looks about.
What's the view from obviously Ashley Cole, probably the greatest left back in Premier League?
I think
but in terms of an
of all
Arsenal
time.
perspective, what Flav mentions there about the fact that he went to Chelsea. What is the mindset amongst Arsenal fans?
When he left, it wasn't nice. But now I think people realise it wasn't his decision to leave, was it? Arsenal weren't like offering him a contract or something. I think
you're sugarcoating
Okay,
it a little bit. He was desperate out. And you just Theo,
he's invincible.
Theo, you said the same thing about him, about how he made the right decision. Cole made the right decision.
Yeah, no, he did.
He did the right thing by leaving your club.
But
he was ambitious.
Quoting you from earlier on.
But 10, 15 years later, I still look at him and saying he's an Arsenal legend. He's part of the invincible side. He's the best left back of all time in world football.
He's certainly the best left back in the Premier League without question.
I personally like him.
Okay.
I didn't like at the time, but now looking back, I think he's actually he knows football. Like if you're a young left back, who do you want to watch to learn your position? You want to watch Ashley Cole.
England's most capped fullback, record
Exactly.
FA Cup 7 times, done the double with 2 clubs as well.
Easy.
Yeah.
Midfield's going to be tough.
Right, 3. Now this is a lot of players here. Midfield 3. So should we go with the ones that are obvious? So Theo, who would be your first choice amongst your Arsenal?
Patrick
Pick
Vieira.
Patrick Vieira, yeah, captain of the Invincibles. Of
Are you
course.
happy to have Patrick Vieira in the team, Flav?
I can't argue against that.
Let's stick him up, because that's the easiest one of them,
Yeah.
isn't it, almost, Patrick Vieira.
Won the World Cup. I mean, captain of the Invincibles. Did it all, didn't he?
We've got 2 more spaces in midfield then.
Well, Luka Modric should also be without question, right?
Luka Modric, interestingly, is the only player of all of these Tottenham and Arsenal players to have won a Ballon d'Or.
But did he deserve it?
What?
Did
Did he
he?
deserve it?
Why didn't he?
What do you mean why?
Why did he get it then if he didn't deserve
Because
it?
he got to a final. He didn't win it. He got to a final. It was like a pity. It was a pity Ballon d'Or.
No, that wasn't the only thing he did, was it?
There was a pity Ballon d'Or. Ronaldo had a better season then. Ronaldo was robbed that year. He was.
He's won 4 Champions Leagues and 14
Yeah, don't
major
get me wrong.
trophies with Real Madrid
But
and a Ballon d'Or.
But in that year, like he didn't deserve the Ballon d'Or.
So who else have you got in midfield that
So I've
is
got-
better than Modric?
See, it's a tough one because he would have been one of the players I put in from a Spurs into this
There
Arsenal.
you go then.
Well, there
Are
you
you
go.
happy to have him up?
Have him up.
But yeah, as much as I love Cesc Fabregas, I will admit I think Modric has had a better career.
Oh!
He's
But
And Arsenal
Fabregas,
fans saying that.
but you can't take it's not taking anything away from Fabregas.
Still
is
got
it?
all, they're all good players. We could play Vieira, Modric with Fabregas.
Worth putting out. Well, these are all top. Vieira, Modric, Fabregas.
We could play a midfield 3 of Vieira, Modric and Fabregas if you wanted.
Well, you could do that, but I've still got a couple of players that I could put in.
Come on then, who
Well, the sort of you're going to say this is crazy, right? And I'm going to be laughed at. But this geezer was one of the best.
Baller.
Yeah.
Big baller.
And if he had played for a club other than Spurs, he probably would have won some stuff.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? He was-
Unbelievably
We did a thing
technically
with Sky actually where we talked about teammates, and every single Tottenham player and a few Belgian players that we interviewed that said best player. Everyone, it's a famous viral clip online that everyone just said
played
Moussa
with.
Dembele, best player they ever played with in training. But obviously had injuries that did blight his career a bit, didn't he?
And would you select Moussa Dembele over Cesc Fabregas?
No.
Come on.
No, you know it. You know it.
Cesc Fabregas, second highest assists in Premier League history.
Yeah.
With 111.
You know what, actually?
I think a midfield 3 of Vieira, Modric and Fabregas
But I
is
think
lovely.
you're forgetting Perez
Yeah.
or Lundberg.
Well, no,
Yeah.
but then you're forgetting Bale.
But Bale surely is in the front 3 conversation.
Well,
We've never played centre mid
potentially,
Bale.
potentially.
This is the thing, because I was thinking in a 4-4-2, then you've got Bale and Son's even played on the wing as well.
Son don't
4-4-2.
make an all-time 11.
Well, we can talk about that because I think he absolutely does.
Well, let's figure out
so
our
are we
final
going-
midfielder and we'll come
Well,
to Bale.
Bale played on the left-hand side, so can
I'm
we?
not
can I-
letting Bale as a central
It's
midfielder.
either-
I'm not allowing
but
it.
When he was at Spurs, he didn't play. He played left back. He
It's,
played left.
no.
I'm not allowing
it's
it
not-
as a centre
The final
mid,
midfield
Fab.
spot's between Perez or Fabregas.
Well, Perez in midfield. So you're putting Perez is allowed to go
I think
midfield?
Fabregas counts as the central midfielder there. I would
you
suggest
reckon?
Vieira, Modric and Fabregas in midfield 3, and then the debate over the front 3 is epic.
Go on then.
All right.
Okay.
I think Perez deserves it.
So it's a big
But you can't put him in the
midfield
front
3,
three.
isn't it? Vieira, Fabregas, Modric. We now go to the players you've got remaining. By the way, Klinsmann, Kane, Son, Bale, Bergkamp, Henry. I mean, these are elite.
Good luck,
players.
lads.
Good luck with this one.
I've
Good
got to put because the sort of formation's changed. I've got to put Klinsmann down here because he only did 2 years in the Prem. So
Okay.
Okay,
gonna
Klinsmann's
advocate
been.
This
What a
front
player,
three
though.
is so obvious.
No, it isn't obvious. It's
Well,
not obvious.
what do you think it
Who's
is?
the first pick? Who's the most obvious of the front players? Do you think?
Well, I think the obvious one is Kane.
Hang on a
Right,
minute. What?
but also, isn't this guy won more than
Bale.
all 3 of those players up top?
He's going in my front three.
Gareth Bale has won
Gareth
4.
Bale.
So you're giving me Gareth Bale right now?
Leagues.
Yeah.
Let's get him up. Gareth Bale.
I think Gareth Bale...
Interestingly as well, if you look at individual awards, only 6 players have ever won the PFA Player of the Year awards on 2 occasions. Mark Hughes, Alan Shearer, Ronaldo, KDB, Thierry Henry and Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
So Gareth Bale had a great season
is-
with the Spurs.
I'd say him and Rooney are the 2 best British players of all time.
What, and him?
No, not Harry Kane. No.
What, I don't know. Why do you keep this?
Thierry Henry exists. And so does Dennis Bergkamp.
Sorry, by the time that Kane ends his career,
But he hasn't.
Henry will be a footnote. A footnote to
Kane
what
hasn't
Kane
ended
achieved.
his career. He's
By
halfway-
the time he does,
That was one of the most crazy
A footnote.
statements that just that got brushed under the carpet.
Repeat it.
By the time
it'll be a bullet point.
Kane is finished, Henry's career will be a footnote. You said that is outrageous, Flav. That
He's
cannot be
literally like-
brushed under the
Henry did
surface.
win a fair bit, didn't he?
Not much. Yeah,
They're 2
a little
amazing
bit.
players.
Won a World
aren't
Cup.
I'm not saying he isn't a good player. I'm not saying he isn't a good player.
I hope not.
Arguably one of the greatest Premier League players. There's a reason he's in the Hall of Fame.
All I'm saying is Kane scored more goals. If you look at their strikers scoring goals, he scored more goals than Henry already.
Correct.
In less games.
Thierry Henry Harry Kane has scored more goals than Thierry Henry.
Ergo.
Thierry Henry, Premier League inductee, Hall of Fame though as well.
so will
7th
Kane be.
overall.
Invincible.
World
Premier
Cup,
League winner.
invincible. Euros with France.
Cup.
Champions League with Barcelona.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no questions.
Scored less goals.
There's no... That's,
I mean, that is... Yeah.
That's
Scored less goals.
It depends
he
how you
scored
get-
less
Sorry,
goals
what-
at
so-
Tottenham.
am I-
At Arsenal. He
am I
didn't score less career goals, did
Am
he?
I forgetting what a striker's supposed to do here? Is that are we redefining
Mate, you
this?
can't put Harry Kane over Thierry Henry. That is...
You could have
Okay,
them
so you're not
both.
playing both?
No, because you've got Dennis Bergkamp. And if you speak to anyone,
No,
speak to
well,
all
no-
these players, who's the best player they've played with at the Prem? Dennis Bergkamp
We just
or
said that
Thierry
about
Henry.
Dembele and he didn't get in.
It's a different story.
It's not, it's the
Dembele,
same-
you
the
can't
exact same
compare Henry and Bergkamp to Dembele. They're on different levels.
There's no one else.
The
Mate,
interesting thing is,
come
when
on.
Joe and I were chatting, we both thought Kane and Henry would both be
No,
nailed on,
how
didn't
can you
we?
not put Dennis
It's
Bergkamp
I don't
in?
know how
So
both
don't
of them
you
aren't
think
in.
Theo's being outrageous? He's been outrageous.
By saying Dennis Bergkamp
no,
needs to be...
by dismissing Kane.
I've
By
never seen
dismissing
anything
Kane.
like it. Theo's just stuck it up.
Listen,
No
listen.
debate.
Listen. This geezer, outside of Arsenal, no one is picking Bergkamp over Kane.
I think they are.
To choosing. So you.
I genuinely think they are.
So if anyone had a choice out of what they've achieved in the Premier League thus far, bearing in mind Bergkamp played in one of the best Premier League sides of all time.
So what they've achieved in the... How many Prems has Kane got?
What I'm
how many-
talking about,
wait,
as individual players, no one is taking Bergkamp over Kane.
I think they are. Because you have
Unless
to look
they're
at it.
gooners.
Okay, you have to look at it. What you've got Thierry
You
Henry
could
out
adapt
and
your
out
formation
striker.
if you wanted.
You can't not have Kane in this team. That is unreal.
It's Dennis Bergkamp. Who do you want up front to partner Thierry Henry?
But that's not what this is about. That's not what this
It's
is.
Dennis
it's about quality
Bergkamp.
of the player. It's about quality of the player.
One
Can't
of
you
the
put a poll
Dutch's
on Twitter?
all-time
Solve this
best
summer.
players.
We
got-
can adapt your formation, by the way. So you could lose a midfielder if you wanted to move things
All right,
around.
let me just to use your point there. If you're talking about how well they'll play together, these two are the best in Premier League history at playing together. How
terms
can
of
they
goal
not be-
combinations, yeah.
Exactly. How can they not be together? It's about how well they play
You
together.
know, the only way I'll give you Kane, is if you take out Fabregas, put Bale in the midfield, and it's Henry, Bergkamp, Kane up top.
No, because you talked.
That wasn't a
there was
bad...
a negotiation there on the table,
Negotiation
Fab, and
there.
it's dismissed out of hand.
No, because
Mate, you can't have 4 Spurs players. That's outrageous.
No.
You've got Kyle Walker in. Kyle Walker has made an all-time Arsenal Spurs 11. Kyle Walker.
that's because of Lauren's
So, Theo, just
inadequacies.
repeat your suggestion. You're saying that you would have Fabregas out, put Bale there, and then have a front three of Henry, Bergkamp and Kane.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Can I have a make a counterpoint here?
go on.
Right, statistically, the best strike partnership in Premier League history.
So
Better than him and him.
Are you trying to suggest putting Son in as well?
I'm putting statistically. I'm just talking about the facts.
Is it only about stats?
Not what you think in your head and what you.
If it's about stats, why has Modric won a Ballon d'Or?
I mean, you're hung up on it. You've got to let that go. He won it fair and square.
What do you expect? I'll give you some stats here about both of them. Dennis Bergkamp, 423 appearances, 120 goals for Arsenal, 3 Premier Leagues, 4 FA Cups, Ballon d'Or runner-up as well, PFA Player of the Year. Kane, all-time top scorer in North London derbies, 244 goals for Tottenham, 179 Premier League goals, Player of the Month
that man
award
Smithy.
for a record equaling 7-time World Cup Golden Boot, PFA Team of the Year 5 times, 3-time Premier League Golden Boot winner. They are 2 top players,
That man
but we
Smith.
do need to make a decision.
Can I just? Joe, what do you think of this?
No.
What do you think of that?
That is
That
a
looks good.
disgrace.
I've got to say, I'm a Spurs fan. You have to have Thierry Henry in there. I mean, I can't.
if I get
I
it
can't
off.
not put Thierry Henry in a.
We'll do this.
I just think
Right, let's
you
agree
have
on this
to have
then.
Henry
Let's
and
agree on
Kane,
this.
don't you? Surely. Joe,
Here we go. We're seeing more movement here from Theo. Bale in the central mid.
And by the way, I'm sorry.
I think that's.
But you told me I weren't allowed Bale.
Bale did play on the left. He played left back and left wing.
In which case, I'll reintroduce Clinton because he won the World Cup.
It's a very attacking team, isn't it?
Bergkamp didn't win a World Cup.
All right. Well,
you haven't even. You've not even mentioned Alexis Sanchez or Mesut Ozil.
You didn't bring him in.
Because I think I'd have Ozil in the team over Kane.
Wow.
No, see that devalues his argument, right? Doesn't it?
It's because you can have the midfield three. You have Ozil and behind, Bergkamp and Henry.
So are you both? With it for now. Is that I'm not going to say do you agree, but is that what you are happy with as a?
I'm not happy with that at all. No.
Well, Joe, you're the neutral. Are we happy with that?
I don't know.
You're the referee.
Bale in central midfield feels madness.
So what do you want to do? You're the referee.
Let's see what people at home think.
You're happy to stick with that?
Yeah, let's stick with that for now.
That is what none of us are really. Well,
nobody's agreed on.
That's what we've gone with. There is the all-time combined 11, which we got there in the end, sort of.
Kyle
but let us
Walker.
know what you think at home.